Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Early Edition spoilers. Ava gets a shocking rescue. GH Weekly spoilers confirm an encore episode will air on Monday for Labor Day. Then, starting on Tuesday, we find Ava Jerome in a dire situation. Agent Cates ordered his lady assassin to bring Ava to the Pine Barrens and kill her. No doubt, so he could pin her murder on Sonny Corinthos. Thankfully, someone rescues Ava, but it's someone surprising. Indeed, it appears to be Jason Morgan because soon, General Hospital spoilers say he discovers something. Then, the daily preview shows him outside, gun drawn, telling someone to drop the gun. So, it seems Jason's likely the person to find Ava in the nick of time. GH Early Edition spoilers. Sonny turns to Carly. While Ava Jerome, Maura West, gets a miracle, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, has his hands full. In the Friday cliffhanger, he put 2 bullets in Agent John Jagger Cates, Adam Harrington. Sonny and his family are finally free of Jagger and his vendetta. However now, the Kingpin must clean up his mess and find a way not to get caught. So, he turns to one of the few people who will always protect him. And that's Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright. This week, on General Hospital, Sonny and Carly are both still at the Quartermain mansion. After shooting Jagger, he finds her and says he needs her help. No doubt, he needs an alibi. So, they strategize to get their stories straight. Meanwhile, Detective Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, who's also at the Q mansion, receives a call about a shooting on the estate grounds. So, he starts investigating. Later, Sonny gets a scare. Then, he gives Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, an important order, no doubt, to dispose of Jagger's body. He likely chooses their usual spot, the Pine Barrens on General Hospital. And that's likely where he comes across Ava about to be killed by Jagger's fake FBI agent, Linda Boyle, Amor Owens. Later, Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, flips out on her mom, Carly, likely for covering for Sonny. Then, she gets advice from her bestie, Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali. Elsewhere, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, warn someone, probably Sonny. Later, Holly Sutton, Emma Sams, resurfaces on General Hospital. General Hospital Weekly spoilers. Elizabeth reconnects with Rick. Additionally, on GH, Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, catches up with her ex-husband, Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst. But later, she is uncertain about something, and it may concern Rick. Afterward, Rick has a deep conversation with his son-in-law, T.J. Ashford, Taj Bello. Meanwhile, Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, confides in her little sister, Christina Corinthos, Kate Monsey. Later, Chrissy seeks help from Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell. Elsewhere, Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, meets with Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy. Additionally, on General Hospital, Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, is full of excuses. Also, Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, opens up to Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner. New GH spoilers indicate major shockers these days. Don't miss a minute to see if it's Jason who stops Ava Jerome's murder on the ABC daytime drama. Port Charles has seen its fair share of betrayals, bullets, and breathtaking comebacks. But this week's General Hospital spoilers promise something even more shocking. Just when Ava Jerome, Maura West, thinks her luck has run out and her enemies have closed in, a stunning rescue changes everything. But in true GH fashion, nothing is ever as it seems. Ava's world implodes. For weeks, Ava has been walking a dangerous tightrope. After her uneasy alliance with Sonny, Maurice Bernard, and her involvement in Jagger Cates, Adam Harrington, takedown, she's found herself backed into a deadly corner. The fallout from Jagger's shooting has painted a target squarely on her back, and her enemies are coming out of the woodwork. Portia, Brooke Kerr, is livid that Ava's manipulations helped unleash chaos at the hospital. Jordan, Tanisha Harper, isn't sure whether to treat Ava as a victim or an accomplice. Even Sonny has started to question her motives again, especially after new evidence surfaces that Ava may have withheld key details about Jagger's final move. And then there's Cyrus Renaud, Jeff Kober, quietly plotting his return to the top of Port Charles's underworld. When word spreads that Ava was last seen near the docks, where Jagger met his bloody end, it's clear that someone wants her silenced before she can spill what she knows. Ava's past is catching up fast, and she realizes she's out of allies. Alone in her art gallery, she senses danger in every shadow. What she doesn't know is that fate, and a familiar face, are about to intervene. A night of fear and fire. The nightmare begins when Ava's gallery goes dark during a late-night cleanup. She assumes it's another Port Charles power outage, until she hears footsteps. A shadowy figure emerges from behind one of her paintings, and before she can grab her gun, a chloroform-soaked rag covers her mouth. When Ava awakens, she's bound to a chair in a dimly lit warehouse, her wrists raw from struggling. She quickly pieces it together. This isn't a random attack. It's retribution. But for what? Jagger's death, her history with Nicholas, Adam Huss, or something even deeper? Her captor's voice sends chills through her. Calm, familiar, but cold as steel. You should have stayed out of business that didn't concern you, the voice says. But before Ava can even respond, chaos erupts outside. Gunshots. Screams. A flash of blinding light. Then, silence. When the smoke clears, Ava opens her eyes to find someone kneeling beside her, cutting through her ropes. She can barely process what she's seeing. You! She gasps, disbelief written all over her face. Early spoilers tease that Ava's rescuer will rock the canvas and send shockwaves through Port Charles. Sources hint that the mysterious figure who saves her isn't Jason, Steve Burton, though fans might initially think it's him. It's someone else from her past, someone Ava thought she'd never see again. Could it be Nicholas, returned from his self-imposed exile with vengeance on his mind, but unwilling to see the mother of his child die? Or is it Lucky Spencer, freshly back in town and already pulled into another life-or-death moment tied to the Cassadine family's chaos? Some insiders whisper that it could even be a long-presumed dead face, possibly Morgan Corinthos, whose name has been dropped repeatedly in recent weeks. If Morgan is alive and working in secret, his reappearance would not only save Ava's life but detonate Sonny's world all over again. Regardless of who it is, the moment is described as electric, emotional, and completely unexpected. Ava, for once, is speechless. Her would-be savior pulls her to her feet and says simply, "You're not safe here. Let's move." Sonny's panic and Nina's regret. Meanwhile, back at the Metro Court, Sonny learns from Dex, Evan Hofer, that Ava's phone has gone dark, and her car was found abandoned near Pier 47. Immediately, he goes into protective overdrive, barking orders and calling in favors. Despite their fractured relationship, Sonny still cares for Ava on some level, perhaps more than he'll ever admit. When Nina, Cynthia Watt-Rose, finds him pacing, she realizes the depth of his worry. "You always rush to save Ava," she says bitterly. "Maybe you should start asking why." Sonny snaps back that Ava's in danger because of Jagger, and because of him. But his words reveal something deeper. Guilt. He brought Ava into his world again, despite knowing how destructive that always turns out to be. As the night unfolds, Sonny teams up with Dante, Dominic Zamprogna, and Jason, scouring Port Charles for any trace of Ava. By the time they arrive at the warehouse, it's already been emptied, the gunman gone, the floor slick with blood, and no sign of Ava. The only clue left behind? A single bullet casing, engraved with a symbol Jason recognizes instantly. One connected to a shadow organization that may have been pulling Jagger's strings all along. Ava's terrifying escape. Elsewhere, Ava's rescuer drives her to a secluded cabin outside the city. She's still disoriented, trying to piece together what just happened. When she demands answers, the stranger finally turns to face her, and Ava's expression turns from shock to awe. "I thought you were dead," she whispers. The response is chilling. "I was. Until tonight." What follows is an emotional and cryptic exchange that sets up the next big GH arc. Ava learns that her abduction wasn't just random revenge. It was part of a larger plot targeting Sonny, Jason, and anyone connected to them. Her abduction was meant to send a message. Now, she's part of a war she doesn't fully understand. One involving an old enemy reborn, and alliances that are anything but secure. What comes next? In the coming days, spoilers tease that Ava will keep her rescuer's identity a secret, even from Sonny. If he finds out, it'll destroy everything, she says to herself, trembling as she stares into the fire. Sonny, meanwhile, becomes more determined than ever to hunt down whoever's behind this new wave of violence, and Jason warns him that the fight ahead will be bloodier than either of them expect. Nina, sensing Sonny slipping further away, turns to Valentine, James Patrick Stewart, for comfort, sparking another dangerous connection. And as for Ava, she's left shaken, vulnerable, and changed. Her near-death experience forces her to face old ghosts, and perhaps even rediscover what it means to survive in a town where survival often comes at a cost. But one thing's for sure, whoever saved Ava has their own agenda. And in Port Charles, a rescue is never just a rescue, it's the beginning of another storm.